us your invasion plans. And don't bother taking over my mind. If you do, Captain Kisno has orders to shoot me. If you take over Captain Kisno's mind, Lieutenant Groit has orders to shoot him. If you take over Lieutenant Groit's mind, Sergeant York will shoot Captain Kisno, Lieutenant Groit, and myself, along with these 3 soldiers.
Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Happened to Them. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and with me this week, thankfully once again, is Joe Vekeman. Yep, that's right. I had a stroke. Don't worry, though. I'm all better now. Yes. And, of course, on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer, and Lev has some big news for us this week. Lev, for us, Joe, has set up a new email address that you can reach out to the show on.
We have an email?
We have an email address, whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, comments, queries, angry letters to Joe, please send them to whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. Thank you for setting that up, Lev. We're happy to see all of the fans that we have out there. Yes, during quarantine, the show's numbers have actually exploded a fair bit because everybody's just trying to find stuff to listen to while they're stuck at home. This week, we watch a movie you probably have not heard of, and we're sorry that now you have. Joe, what movie did we watch this week?
Did we watch this movie? Does this movie exist?
Is it a movie?
We watched
Is a fair question.
51.
Yes, perhaps the TriStar hit animated film, Planet 51.
It was a hit.
How would you even begin to synopsize this movie, Joe?
I'm not. I have someone who did it for me. An alien civilization is invaded by astronaut Chuck Baker, who believes that the planet was uninhabited. Wanted by the military, Baker must get back to his ship before it goes into orbit without him. Hold up, wait, there's like 30 minutes of a weird alien dude played by Justin Long trying to woo a non-person that's played by Jessica Biel, who has no, she has no agency. She's not a person or an alien or whatever. She's just an object, and it's disgusting. This movie is disgusting. I don't know who this is for. I don't know why it exists. I don't know why The Rock thought it was a good idea to sign on to. Where do we start?
Yeah, there is absolutely no purpose to Jessica Biel's character in any way, shape, or form. It is just a way to show that he has achieved something by earning her from a guy that ended up helping them out anyway. And when she joins them for this big showdown in the military base, she just sort of sits around and watches most of the time. So don't know why we needed her there. Don't know why we needed most of these characters here. Don't know why Sean William Scott had to hang out with us. Or this little brother who on IMDb, the little kid actors that plays the brother's headshot is in fact just a picture of the alien from the movie. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, crazily enough, playing the Massachusetts governor, Charlie Baker.
I did not realize that till right now.
Yeah, yes, and we are currently in a world where everyone believes that everything in movies are real.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then it was the I guess the conceit of this film is that it's an alien world in their version of the 50s. But I think even then, they knew well enough that movies were fake. And you didn't have a whole planet afraid that humans were going to come and take over their minds and turn them into zombies. But it's like the only pop culture thing anybody in the world talks about.
This movie, it has so many problems with it. from the beginning. In the beginning is the writer and director of this movie, Jorge Blanco, is confused at what kind of movie he's making because it feels like it's a children's film or at least a family film, and it's not. It's not a children's film or a family film. This movie is disgusting. It promotes gay panic. It promotes just the grossness of males like just only wanting to treat women like objects. This movie was awful. What did you think of this?
Yeah, you know what? I knew we were in trouble when very quickly into the movie we are taken through the credit sequence with this weird modern rendition of Lollipop. And
for the love of...
And I say like, uh-oh. And then very quickly you realize that TriStar... Is TriStar even still around?
It has to be.
Does it have to be?
It has to. Hold on.
Is this the movie that ruined it? Is this the Heaven's Gate of TriStar?
That would be very funny. Because at least Heaven's Gate is like, I don't know, considered a strange, like, piece of art.
It has definitely gained a cult following since it destroyed United Artists.
This will never have that.
Yeah, thank goodness.
This will never even reach Eight Crazy Nights awfulness. This movie should just be buried in the trash can.
So very quickly I realized TriStar is doing its best impersonation of a DreamWorks movie where they're just like, all right, let's load it up with pop culture references and have it be done. And those don't just work as jokes on their own. Their script perhaps could have used maybe a second draft, but that's just my opinion. And then you bring up Eight Crazy Nights, and so that's what I thought. I thought, like, are we cursed, or are these actors, like, why is it every time these actors we follow do an animated film, it's the worst thing they've done? Like, I feel bad. Watching this movie, I felt bad complaining about the game plan, because it's only gotten worse since then. So it's really what The Rock's film career so far is a really good metaphor for 2020, where we say, like, okay, this is the worst thing that could be happening. This is awful. And then they're like, oh, really? Well, what about this? And you're like, okay, Jesus, I'm sorry. This is the worst thing ever. And they're like, oh, really? What about this? And you're like, Uncle, no more Planet 51s, please. But, you know, you bring up some great sort of social commentary points about the fear, this movie's sort of looking down on gay relationships and women. But like overall as a product, Eight Crazy Nights is much harder for me to get through.
Oh, wow.
Much harder.
Have a bone to pick.
This movie, I think, is stupid. I think it's awful. I think it's a waste of my time. I think it's a waste of the time of the people who made it. I think it's a waste of the time for anyone who has consumed it. I'm so mad at all the 4.5-star reviews I've seen of this film on the internet. I don't know when they're from. Maybe they're from 2010, so whatever. But like I'm actually physically hurt watching Eight Crazy Nights. Like it's this weird nadir of one of my cinematic experiences. This is right down there with it. But Eight Crazy Nights I have such viscera for. We didn't even do a real episode for it. Like that's how bad that movie is. It wasn't worth our time. And you know what? And perhaps, so there you go.
I just want to say, I Googled does TriStar, and then the first thing that comes up is, does TriStar Pictures still exist? And I clicked on it.
Yeah, and the answer was a resounding no.
Weird that I'm getting a lot of guns and ammo and shotguns. I don't know.
Maybe once TriStar went out of business, it became... the domain became fair grabs for a lot of peeps. That's short for people.
Okay, now somehow Google replaced my search with, does TriStar Pictures make good shotguns? Don't know how that happened. It's not what I typed.
They had to pivot real hard, I see, after this film. They thought the movie audience isn't working for us, but we still do guns pretty well. It actually might be like a plan of corporate synergy. You watch their movie, then you go out, you buy their gun, and then you shoot yourself.
Okay, you know what? I've actually seen a TriStar picture. They're still around. They're not making many movies, but I saw the Broken Hearts Gallery, which I actually enjoyed. I took time to see that this year in the theater during quarantine. We wore our masks, and we were the only ones in the theater.
I thought you didn't like that movie. What was the movie that you super duper hated?
Did I see in the theater?
Yeah, you were so excited to see it in the theater, and then it ended up being awful. Like, I don't remember what it was. You complained about it maybe like a month and a half ago. Well,
I saw New Mutants, and that was bad.
Yeah, maybe that was the one.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Antebellum. I didn't see that in the theater, but that movie.
That movie. Yeah, I'm glad I could take that
right
one
next
off
to
my
Planet
list.
51, to be honest. That movie was offensive.
Oh man! Wow.
Ugh. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's weird. The movie almost tried to lampshade Dimit, where they both speak each other's languages. Yeah. But then like nobody was into like, well, why? You know, like why does this planet millions of light years away seem to exist as a time capsule of Earth's sci-fi movie pop culture? And they really jam as many in there as they can, which is just like, look, the dog, looks like that alien from Alien. Pretty funny. Oh, look, it rains rocks here, and the robot is doing, the poor man's Wall-E is doing a Singing in the Rain rendition. Pretty funny.
Poor man's Wall-E. And it was a year after Wall-E came out.
Yeah. And then, Gary Oldman's in here because, I don't know, it was an easy paycheck for a day's work.
Yeah. The cast is actually kind of interesting. I tried to talk to you about it last week, and you're like, no, save it. And I'm like, now I'm like, yeah, it's probably the only thing we can really talk about.
I mean, here's who's interesting in the cast. Gary Oldman and John Cleese.
Yep.
And that's sort of it. Here's what else is interesting. Dwayne Johnson is first build.
Shouldn't be.
He should. Yeah, no. Jessica Biel is second build for some reason.
Don't know why.
And Justin Long is third build, even though he is the main character. And I'll tell you why he's third build. Because no one remembers him. I know it's only been a couple of years.
It had been only a couple of years since he had really big hits.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're really big hits, but they were successful movies.
He was doing great until
he was continuously employed, and then all of a sudden they were like, we can just get any white guy.
Yeah, he made some Jeepers Creepers, he made some Dodgeballs, he made some Herbie Fully Loaded. He had a great 2000.
He was in Herbie Fully Loaded?
Yeah, he plays Kevin.
Oh yeah, Kevin, of course. I just imagine he stars opposite Lindsay Lohan before she also disappeared suddenly.
Yeah, he's in that Accepted movie. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin.
Wow,
he's Alvin?
So that's where he went. He's just making Alvin and the Chipmunks money.
He's riding that wave. You can't even recognize it's him. Like, what's the advantage?
Yeah. Well, who cares? He has a denial. He's like, I wasn't in that movie. They stuff on my voice. They just have to use my name.
Yeah, my name is in fact the actor version of Alan Smithy. Like, it's a weird coincidence.
Can you name all the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies?
Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yep.
One, I guess. Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. Of course. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked.
Of course.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Road Chip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 4 for
Got
4.
him.
Wow.
Bam. Boom. You know, as much as I mock their titles, they are super useful for remembering them.
Yes. And you've seen none of them, right?
Thank goodness, no. Was it Jason Lee's in those?
He's the live action element in the movie.
Yeah, I feel bad. Things have gotten rough for him since that My Name is Earl show got canceled. That's pretty much all he can find for work these days.
Oops. Jason Lee. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
Okay,
what else is there worth talking about here? I don't know. The music in this movie is some of the laziest I have ever heard.
I was When you want to hear my notes, I got notes on this.
Go through your notes. So let's just get this. Let's get this over.
All right,
with.
let's do it. I'm just gonna read these right to you, okay?
Yeah.
Starts off with a kid watching a movie about the idea of this movie, but it's about how humans come to kill aliens.
Listen, the first 2 minutes aren't terrible. Like, it's this idea of the reveal that we're, in fact, on the side of the aliens is a very interesting way to start off your movie. You make us think we're going to be in this human theater and humans are afraid of aliens and the aliens are going to come down and we're going to ET it. But then you sort of reverse it. So I give the movie props, and that might be the only place that props can be given. They peaked 2 minutes in, and it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, sure, peaked. I don't think this has ever hit a peak.
It peaked. That was the peak. The peak was a very small peak. It was like an anthill, but they peaked there.
Yeah, the fucking lollipop song can fuck a chainsaw. That's what I said. Holy hell, is this rough? I hate Justin Long, maybe more than I hate Kevin James. Fuck this movie. How do they pass this off to kids as entertainment? We have hit rock bottom. This is worse than 8 Crazy Nights, which I know you disagree with now. Offering absolutely nothing. Who is this for? Holy fucking hell. Peaceful protester beat up with batons by police. Is this played as a joke because he can't sing? This is truly awful. Do you remember that scene? Do you remember the scene when the kid is just playing his guitar and then the cops come over to him and beat him up with batons?
Yeah, they smile about like the joke. Yeah, I can see why they went to play for a joke. It certainly doesn't age well, but that's again them doing this like DreamWorks rendition is like very time sensitive jokes that are dated as soon as you leave the theater. It is, and it doesn't look good now, and they should be embarrassed, and they shouldn't have charged me so much to stream this movie. They should be lucky to have any money from me.
It was $4.
That's what people charge for like a regular, well-made movie, and I had to pay that that much money for this.
Mm-hmm.
They have my money, and now they think like, oh, maybe this was a good idea. It's not. TriStar, I need you to know this. Don't make don't make a Planet 52. We don't want it.
Years later, they're like, ooh, $8.
Yeah,
let's make it one.
You know what's crazy? We could have bought the DVD for cheaper.
Yeah,
the DVD could have been like $2.
I wouldn't want to wait for it to come in the mail and open it. No, thank you. Wait, did you know? I only know this because I was just too lazy to turn it off at a certain point. Because I was like, maybe we could just agree to just not talk about this one.
Okay.
But there is an after credits scene in this movie.
I was just like, oh, thank God the movie's done. And then like more movie happened. I was like, no, why won't you let me rest in peace, you damn movie?
Is it a lobotomy joke at the end? Is that what it is?
Yeah, because they got lobotomized.
Yeah, great.
Great. The two aliens, one of whom annoyingly played by James Corden.
Oh God!
A man I dislike with a very strong passion.
Yeah.
As for speaking of people we dislike, leave Justin Long alone. Okay, he's not worth the energy to hate like Kevin James. He so barely exists. He just sort of like blends in with the world. He's just forgettable. Don't waste time hating him, Joe. He's not worth it. Kevin James Corden. Maybe it's this James thing. Like just Jameses are in general hateable people.
Can I blow your mind on something?
Yeah. Okay.
How much do you think this movie cost?
Cost to make?
What was it?
$30 million.
We're getting higher.
I'm too high, or the movie cost more?
More.
$70 million.
You nailed it. Second time. Yeah,
$70 million went towards this.
To what?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Here's what I also felt bad all the times I've yelled at Marvel movies for costing a ridiculous amount of money. At least then you get a consumable product. It might not be very nutritious, but it's there and it will fill you up. It is McDonald's, but you'll be full. What did anyone gain from watching this?
We're so angry.
Yeah. All right. How much did it make then?
42 million domestically, and internationally 63 million for a worldwide gross of 105 million.
Well, that's annoying. I don't want them to think this was worth the time and money. I want them to know the true depths of my ire.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Truly a moment in cinema. So this movie debuted at number 4.
Yeah.
To 12 million. The same week it released, there was a few other movies that were brand new. And number 1 that week, The Twilight Saga, New Moon.
Is that like one of the last ones or the middle ones?
I think it's the second Twilight movie.
Okay, sure.
Followed by, in second place, a new movie, The Blind Side.
Ah, gee, okay.
In third place, down from number 1, 2012.
Okay. Well, it sounds like overall it wasn't a great week for movies.
Number 5 was the Robert Zemeckis CGI animated Jim Carrey starring A Christmas Carol.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know why Robert Zemeckis keeps doing animated films. They're never great.
Good Lord, this week is fucking awful.
Yeah, what else? Let's talk about how shitty this week of movies is in 2009.
I mean, maybe the only movie that was I saw it. It was fine. People love this movie. That was Precious.
Based off the novel Push by Sapphire.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They shortened it for me though. Number 7 was The Men Who Stare at Goats, the George Clooney movie. You see that one?
Yeah, I remember that movie. That movie was all right.
Yeah.
Wasn't great. I would never watch it again, but it was fine. It's not as bad as some of these other films.
Couples Retreat. Do you remember this movie?
No, it just sounds like a bad romantic comedy.
It's
like Matthew McConaughey in it with, I don't know, some blonde actress. Who is it? Katherine Heigl, that one that annoyed her way off of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Katherine Heigl. That's not Katherine Heigl though for A Couples Retreat. That is Vince Vaughn and someone else. Hold on.
Another good choice for a romantic comedy in the late 2000s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who directed Couples Retreat though?
No.
Peter Billingsley, the little boy from A Christmas Story.
Oh, he's a director now, of very average movies, I'm presuming, but still not bad.
Couples Retreat starring Vince Vaughn, Jason Bateman, Jon Favreau, Faison Love, Kristen Davis, Malin Ackerman, Kristen Bell, and Jean Reno.
Yeah, why not, right?
I'll throw him in there.
Yeah. What a hodgepodge we've assorted here.
Okay.
What won Best Picture in 2009? Was it Blindside?
No, 2009 was
it's the year right before Hurt Locker.
Right before King's Speech, right after Slumdog Millionaire. What was 2009? This sucks. What is it? How bad is it? Is it a good movie? What if it's good?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this movie also bad? And it was just an overall terrible year for movies?
Take a guess. Come on.
Take a guess?
Yeah.
Was this the year that Crash won? Is this that year?
No, that's 2005.
Okay. It's all a blur now.
Oh, okay. It was a good movie, I think.
Oh, okay. I have no idea then.
The Hurt Locker.
Oh, okay. See, I thought Hurt Locker was the next year. Okay, this was all the Avatar year.
It's true. That movie made
Avatar 2, which is finally finished filming.
Yeah, but it's not coming out till 2022, I think.
Yeah, it is, and there are still 3 other movies to be made in the franchise. There are going to be 5 Avatar films, and the 5th one will come out when we're all dead.
Did you see Avatar?
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about it?
Yeah, I remember how weird everybody looked. Everybody was talking about how great the CG effects looked. They just made everything look uncomfortable to me.
Yeah. I
did not like it. I was bored by it. I was underwhelmed. Everybody got mad at me when I took so long to see it. Then they got mad at me after I saw it and only saw it once and then didn't like it. I don't know. Leave me alone.
The movie played in theaters for 6 months. You don't have to worry about when you see it.
Yeah, it was just when the episode 7 of Star Wars came out, I'm like, I'm not getting to it now. I got 6 months.
You didn't miss anything.
No, I did not, is what I found. Yeah.
Hold on. There was actually something I wanted to talk about. So I read it on the Wikipedia.
You went to Wikipedia. You are a brave man.
Hey.
What's also weird while you're looking that up is how, going back to Jessica Biel being a prop more than a character, it was weird that like everybody immediately as the movie began was like trying to pimp her out to Justin Long.
Yeah, oh God.
Like her brother giving us a very awkward amount of exposition, and like his father in the middle of a conversation with the neighbors is like, hey, go tap that. Like, what was going on?
Hell, go tap that. Jesus Christ. We're talking about a kid's movie.
Yeah, it was very odd, awkward film.
Dwayne Johnson initially turned down the main role, feeling he had no business being in an animated film since he wasn't a voice actor. Eventually, he was cast in the movie after he read the script and enjoyed some of the jokes. Okay.
He found two funny ones.
However, he was slightly annoyed that most of the actors present weren't professional voice actors, meaning he couldn't get input on how his performance was. Well, at least he cares. At least we know he cares. And he was just like, I don't know if I'm good. And obviously, Jorge Blanco was not giving him good direction if he doesn't know how he was doing.
Yeah, it was funny when you said that he was like, I better leave it to the professional voice actors. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're all just regular actors. And also, professional voice actors haven't been doing feature-length animated films for major studios for at least a decade at this point, probably longer. Like, did he not think back to, like, Shrek? Or A Shark's Tale?
Well, I mean, Mike Myers does voices. That's his thing. And
yeah,
Eddie
but
Murphy,
nobody would call him a voice actor.
He does voices.
Voice actor. Would you think of who's the bad guy in that movie? Would you think of the guy from the Third Rock from the Sun? I can't remember his name. John Lithgow. Is he a voice actor?
No, but he has a tremendous voice.
Yes.
So I would say go for it. You cast him great. Eddie Murphy, great. I love Eddie Murphy. He's funny. He can do some funny voices. Cameron Diaz,
yeah,
don't that one.
Yeah, well, don't forget Will Smith in A Shark's Tale, Joe.
Wasn't one of his best friends in that movie, or I don't remember. I definitely took my little sister to see that. But Martin Scorsese plays like a very good supporting role in that.
Another
movie.
famous voice actor, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen.
Hey, they did great in Toy Story.
Okay, yes, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson could have done great too if somebody had given a shit about this movie or had written a script that he could play.
Do I have some foreshadowing happening right now? If he has good direction, maybe in an animated film, he could do pretty.
Oh
good.
no! Wait, are there more animated films that he does?
Patrick,
I don't want any more. They haven't tracked well with us.
No. Okay, so I'll let it be a surprise because I can't believe you don't know about this movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, all I'm gonna say is,
does San Andreas count as an animated movie?
But I filmed that short with you before I went to go see this movie. That's how recent it was. After Thanksgiving. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, so that's fine with me. You know, John Cleese gets the very valuable and
John
with
Cleese
credit, at the end of it, where it's like you have his name and then you have the character's name underneath it. That's where when I was trying to be an actor long ago, before I got into directing, that was where I wanted to be. I wanted that pivotal Tom Bosley role right at the end of the credits where you get the and that's how people know you are important shit. You're not the star, but that's okay. Stars are usually boring.
With
Patrick Scale as the man who eats cereal. Like, just something like that.
Yeah, no, definitely with and as.
That's what you want. John Cleese gets it here. That's good. But, again, not well used in this film.
I couldn't tell it was John Cleese. I couldn't tell it was James Corden. I couldn't tell it was Dwayne Johnson. And what do you think of Dwayne Johnson playing a white astronaut? I just have to bring it up.
Well, Charlie Baker is a white governor, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So
that it would be a white character.
Charlie Baker is first going to Planet 51 in an animated movie, then he becomes the Massachusetts governor. Okay.
Yeah, Charlie Baker is an astronaut who then became governor.
This is canon, right?
This is his backstory.
I love it. Now I'm into the movie. Go on.
But like his voice is just so like, I don't know. It could be anything, you know?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what the rules are, but
When you
like,
watch the
whatever.
movie that comes out later, you'll be like, well, this makes more sense now. Like, way more sense.
Yeah, listen, the crime of this movie is not casting The Rock as a white man. The crime of this movie is existing. Like, that's it, really.
Yes, exactly.
Like, let's not quibble. If it in for a penny, in for a pound, you know? Like, let's not quibble with these smaller things. All of it is just a bad thing to tie together, you know?
Yeah.
It's all no good. And somehow this song goes to the Macarena joke that I think, did Hotel Transylvania 3 steal this from this movie? Why do animated kids movies always go to the Macarena? Do people know what the Macarena is? For our younger listeners out there, if you are familiar with the Macarena and maybe even know the dance and perhaps have done it, please email us at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com and let us know, because I just won't believe you probably.
What are you talking about? The Macarena was the dance hit of 1996.
Yeah, it was awful. And they made us do it in the gym class, Joe.
Yeah,
Did they make you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look, here's our physical activity today. And I'm thinking, like, this is bullshit. I don't want to fucking do this. And then, like, Pinky and the Brain had, like, a big finale episode. It was, like, 3 parts where, like, the world was being taken over by the Macarena dance.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But did you have the square dance? Did they make you square dance in gym class? They made us. It was weird.
Yeah. Well, like, so that was weird. When we were in high school, Joe, and taking gym class together, we did square dancing. We did swing dancing. We did, actually, like, line dancing.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and they just essentially, they put like a video on, like a big cathode ray boxy TV on like the wheelie cart. You know, the VCR is built right into the TV. They put it because teachers couldn't figure it out if they were separate items. They would never have it in the right output. It would always be a huge hassle. They put it into the TV and like they would turn off the lights and they would leave. So of course we're not dancing. No one's watching us.
Would you be annoyed or excited or just pretty meh whenever a teacher put on a video for the entire class and you'd have to watch it?
It depends what the video was. Sometimes they would be interesting. In gym class, videos probably aren't interesting, like the Taibo video.
Oh god, no! But I'm talking about like they made us. They actually, like, it was kind of cool. My psychology teacher let us watch The Elephant Man.
What? What?
Yeah.
What do you get? No, here's what we got. In gym in health class, we got like Remember the Titans and Antoine Fisher, but also, which were okay, but also a score of Lifetime movies. Like She's Too Young, or whatever that like gymnastic anorexia movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't that have
Your Changing Body, something like that?
Changing Body.
Yeah. Random. No, we didn't get to watch cool films. No.
Yeah, we watched The Elephant Man, but it was one of the days I was absent, so I missed parts. So I missed like the either the end or the beginning. I can't remember. Okay. It was so long ago now. But yeah, so I've seen half of that movie. I just don't know which half. Yeah, The Elephant Man. Is that the movie we're doing this week?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? And it was weird how often people talked about probing and butt plugs, considering that I don't think any of these aliens has a butt. Just looking at...
Wait, you don't think they have buttholes?
I don't think they have buttholes because they don't wear pants, and they very often turn away from camera, and no butt was to be found on any of these aliens. And then one alien raised up his shirt, but nothing was there. So now my thought is, well, why are you bothering to wear shirts? And I'll tell you why, so that we can tell them apart. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. The girls always have to be wearing dresses, and the guys always have to be wearing a t-shirt.
But it's always like to say it's like a bowling t-shirt. Like they all have, if they're of a certain age, they all have that same shirt.
And okay, so I didn't even tell you because I'm going to reveal something to you right now.
Okay. Yes.
This director legit thought he had a like this was a great, like groundbreaking idea.
Oh, is this Delgo syndrome that we have here?
He thinks this is his Citizen Kane.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was making cinema, and I tell you,
we have sadly fallen into the trap as the great forgettable animated films before it, Delgo and Treasure Planet.
Delgo. What is Delgo? You keep saying that word.
Yeah, these are just, I think it actually came out around the same time as this movie. These are just both animated films that worked really hard on licensing and franchise deals and had them all set up before the movies came out. And then these movies bomb. And then everybody, another one, Titan AE. Yep. Very forgettable. And now there's just like boxes of Titan AE cereal hanging out on the shelves for a month at a time until they go stale and you have to throw them out.
Yeah, speaking of stale, I read this article this morning that this family in China. Did you hear about this? This family in China.
About a family in China? No, go give me some more information, Joe.
They had prepared a noodle dish from a year before, and then they went to go eat it. And 9 people died from eating this. And there was 12 people there, and the other 3 people were like, it tastes funny, and they decided not to eat it.
Well, 1, that's a very big family. 2, why did they do this? What was the goal? Was it like trying to make like a wine noodle? They wanted to ferment the noodles?
Yeah, no, exactly. It was fermented noodles.
Oh, well, I would guess that was a bad idea, having neither fermented anything nor ate stale noodles, but here we are.
Yeah. I don't know how I came across that article this morning, but I'm just like, I really want to watch, like, my food be prepared now. I'm scared what people do to food. I'm so scared of the world. This movie did not help that.
The movie has only terrified you more that things like this could exist.
$105 million. And I'm like, people gave this movie money. These people exist in the world probably still.
Yeah.
This movie's that old.
It is, about 11 years old now.
Yeah.
11 years too old.
Are we being too hard on this movie?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If you think we are being too hard on this movie, audience, please send us some
email us.
emails at whathappenedtothem@gmail.com. We'll read some of them on the air next week. If any of them give some very good counter arguments, we'd be happy for those.
We want them. We want to read them. Also, we just plug the podcast right now. Rate, review, subscribe, right? Please. 5 stars if you love us. If you don't like us, don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't fully know how the podcast economy works, so do whatever Joe said. That sounds like nice things for us. We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Just like to read too.
Yeah. Joe, you ready to move on to last looks? Because I want to be dead.
Please. Yeah, what's your last looks?
I get why. I actually kind of get why both The Rock and Sean William Scott do this movie.
Because they need before midnight, and this is their before midnight.
No. I think Sean William Scott is struggling to hang on to any semblance of a career outside of American Pie.
I think he hadn't done American Reunion.
Yeah, that is
supposed to be long enough.
Yeah, I think that was sort of his goal here. And I think the Rock still, I guess his last 2 Disney movies were sort of hits.
This movie made money.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, he's not fully out in the need to take any role kind of situation. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe according to your story, there was he thought okay, I can learn about voice acting here by working with some voice actors. That's not bad. So but also maybe it was just an easy paycheck to get because he only had to be in a recording booth for a little bit. Maybe it was. He didn't yet know when he took this role that the other 2 films were going to be as successful as they were. So might as well take what you can get now, really make sure that transition out of wrestling sticks. I don't know, Joe. I don't want to think about this movie anymore. It hurts my heart.
Okay. I looked up to see what our next film is. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I have no. Well, yeah. What's next? I have no idea.
Tooth Fairy.
Good. Thank goodness. I was afraid that we were going to get a movie that was somehow worse than this. But probably we'll get a movie that's just as bad as this. Tooth. The Tooth Fairy?
Well, yeah, let me tell you.
He can't handle the tooth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Right, practically writes itself.
Oh, God.
I bet Tooth Fairy was a movie that was pitched as a log line and immediately bought by a studio.
All right. Just really quick, I'm just going to tell you. Screenplay by Lowell Gans, Babaloo Mandel, Joshua Sternin, Jeffrey Ventimiglia, Randy Mayhem Singer. How many? 5. 5 screenwriters for the Tooth Fairy.
Well, Joe...
And that's how I want to leave this. And
we get to return to my favorite genre. This guy's gonna raise kids? What?
That's not what this movie is. I've seen it. The time I watched it, which was 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
I liked it. So I'm interested to see how this rewatch will be.
Okay. Do I have to pay for this one?
It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Well, that might take some of the sting out. All right. Well,
actually, the couple we get away with because Tooth Fairy.
No, let's not get too far ahead. Okay. Let me be resigned to this nadir currently and struggle hard to get through the rock, and we'll go from there. Lev worked very hard this week to get us a sponsor, but when they found out we were doing this movie, they pulled it very quickly. So no sponsor for you this week. So we're sorry about that. This one's coming out of our own pockets. This is truly proof that this podcast is a labor of love.
And you know what? I love you.
And yes. Was that a movie? I Love You, Man? Was that a movie?
That's a movie.
Was it? Isn't that the movie where that
hesitated to say it back to me?
Yeah. Isn't that the movie where the guy from How I Met Your Mother needs a best friend and it's like Paul Rudd, or is it like the reverse?
The reverse. Paul Rudd definitely needs the best friend, and Jake there to give it to him.
So that he can have a best man for his wedding. I love you, man.
You know what? I'm not saying that you need a friend, but I'm definitely the Jason Segel in this relationship.
Yeah. Well, Joe, don't put yourself down. I think Lev is the Jason Segel, and you are. I don't know who's the wife in that movie.
Rashida Jones in this.
Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones was in that movie.
Yeah, no, Rashida Jones.
Oh, Rashida Jones. Okay, I like her more.
Yes. You know what she was great in that I just saw?
What?
The new Sofia Coppola movie. She's great on The Rocks.
Is that movie in theaters now, or on demand or something?
Theaters and Apple TV Plus.
I don't have Apple TV. What was the first one?
The theater.
Oh, I'll go to the theater. I like Sofia Coppola. I'm glad she has a new movie out, but I don't want to risk my life to see it just yet.
No, don't worry about it. You can get a 2-week free trial of Apple TV Plus.
Okay, I wanted to watch that show with Steve Carell and Jennifer Aniston. You know that one?
Morning show?
Yeah, that one looks good. I think I'd want to watch that.
You can watch that too when you do
that's what I'll binge at 2 weeks. I can't do it now. I got some production shoots coming up, but maybe around Christmas or so, I'll give it a try.
I don't think it's long. It might be just 8 episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. 8 hours is still tough to find free time for.
Is it an hour-long show? Really?
Yeah. It's an hour-long drama thing, I think.
That's crazy. I did not know it was an hour.
It's a half hour. I might be able to fit it in more. All right. Well, we've clearly not talked about Planet 51 anymore. Yeah, this week's sponsor is Apple TV Plus. Thank you for sticking through this episode with us. Joe promises me better episodes are coming, so if you get mad, if that ends up not being true, you can write him angry letters at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com, and I will read them to him live until he cries. All right, thank you. Thanks to Lev being the audio maven, making the sounds we were craving. Thanks, of course, to Joe Beckman for toughing this movie out with me this week. And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, animations, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes content, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social medias of a similar sounding name. Thank you especially all for listening, especially if you watch the movie with us. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena.
my dear friends at Arbelos that brought us the Satan Tango 4K remaster.
Yeah.
Though I got to see in theaters, taking up my whole day. As it
That was
is.
the Bellatar film?
Yeah, it is a 7.5 hour movie, and they put 2 intermissions in so we could go get lunch and dinner.
Weren't you so happy that I remember there was a Bellatar film?
Well, I mean, a little bit, but it is his most famous film. So if you're going to remember one, it should be that one.
That he's done.
Oh man, that's so sad. So yet despite 3 years, still have yet to put it out on the Blu-ray they promised me, which is annoying. I actually think it will be 2 discs, but who knows? They are now doing one of his earliest films, Damnation, and every news article I'm finding, it makes it ambiguous whether or not the trailer is going to release next week or
the disc.
The movie itself is going to release next week. It's not the disc, sadly. I've got to wait even more longer for this disc. But, oh yeah, speaking of fancy effing movies on physical media, what did you get on Criterion this week with that 50% off sale they had?
Okay, so
Into the mic, Joe. Into the mic.
Into the mic. I got the Gunfighter that stars Gregory Peck, David Lynch's The Elephant Man, and Martin Scorsese's The Age of Innocence.
Yeah, for a sentimental film, I kind of like The Elephant Man. I think I'm glad he doesn't that's the one he has, but
That's not the Stray Story? What is that about? Did you see that?
I have not seen it, though. I did just read a very lengthy film critique of it in this David Lynch book that I have, David Lynch Swerves by Martha P. Notrimson. It's very good. It's actually talking about David Lynch's use of kind of quantum mechanics and terminology for themes in his films. And she seemed to have a really tough time forcing one onto the straight story, but goddamn did she try. Other than that, though, the other films, I think her analysis is sort of spot on. I got Paths of Glory, the early Kubrick film.
Ooh, that's good.
That was a good one. I also got The Blue Velvet, my David Lynch film here.
Ooh, that's a good addition too. It's in a very nice case.
I think I should have all of his on Criterion now. That's available on their platform. And then I've got Code Unknown by another one of my favorites, Mikhail Haneke. Sadly, not very prolific on the Criterion yet. Pretty much only has the 2 movies, that and Piano Teacher, that I already own. And then I relented because I don't think they're ever going to put this one out on Blu-ray, but I got Godard's DVD of 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her, one of his better weird, wacky movies. So that's what we've done over here.
That's fun.
All right. Well, you ready to jump in this time?
I don't know.
No, yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if I want to go in the water yet.
Well,
it's I have boiling hot takes. Not.
All right. Well, let's just get it over with.
Okay.